So today we have on the founder's chair Stephan. Stephan or Stephan? Stephan.
It's like
Bredell.
Plato, clothing.
Yes, yes. So we have Stephan Bredell that is part of the founder's chair today. And he's going to share his story from being able to start on one container to grow into over 100 coffees, shops across South Africa. I mean, that's something that you don't hear quite often. You don't hear somebody start off with one and they scale their business. And I think what's more amazing is that being able to stick to the values of putting people first. And I'm excited to actually learn today from you as well, and being able just to see how you have scaled your business. Something that, for me, I think there was, and there still is, coffee shops. If you look at majority of the franchisees that's out there, established franchisees that come into the market, and you came in with a different concept that disrupted the market in such a way that people now rave about Plato. And
That's good. That's good to hear.
yes. What has been the journey like? I mean, like, just take us way back. Take us to the start of the journey. How did it all start?
Yeah, I won't go too far back.
Before we start, but
No.
so it's fine if I cut you here.
That's fine. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'll go back, but not too long ago. Too far back. So I was a full-time Imagineer or ideator at an insurance company.
Yes.
So my full-time job was literally just to come up with new ideas, new marketing ideas, whether it was apps or events or whatever.
So this was the time when you were studying?
No. So I was full-time in corporate.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
At King Price Insurance. So,
Yes. At King Price.
Yeah. So I had a very fun job. Like I had Googling the office budget.
Yes.
So I had to make the offices fun and nice for everybody to work in.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so then one of my projects was like they wanted to do a canteen on the 4th floor.
Yes.
But they just wanted to put like a braai there and just like for after work drinks and stuff.
Yes.
And then I said, no man, let's do something proper.
Yes.
And that's when I started a cafe called Moonshot Cafe.
Moonshot.
Yeah, but I was basically an entrepreneur in King Price because I had a lot of freedom to.
This was at offices in Pretoria.
Yeah, that meant mine. So I had a lot of freedom to come up with new stuff, and that's when I saw, there's good margin in coffee.
Yes.
So obviously that was like a proper restaurant. So you had food and waiters and big setup costs because it was like a 300 square restaurant.
Yes.
And then I saw but there's good margin in coffee.
Yes.
And then I figured, but what if you strip away all like the big overheads, so like waiters and big shop fitting stuff like that.
Yes.
And then you just make it a very like a compact version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I started doing some research in 2017.
Yeah.
And I saw there was this girl in Sweden actually.
Okay.
She went to a Starbucks shop to go work there, but I think her hair was pink and she had a nose ring and whatever, and they said no, she's not a culture fit, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So she can't be a barista at Starbucks, and then she decided, well, okay, then I'm just gonna start my own thing. So she started a concept called Wheelie's Cafe.
Okay.
Where, it was literally think of a tricycle.
Yes.
And then you put like a small bar on the tricycle,
Yes.
and then and you start selling coffee. So
Yeah.
then she went, got like a informal trader's license, and then like 4 months later, she took a little tricycle, stood in front of the Starbucks, and sold more coffee that day than the Starbucks.
What?
So that intrigued me quite a lot to think that
That
you could sell coffee from a tricycle.
Yes.
So then I ordered a tricycle. so I got a guy in Cape Town and said, listen, here's the picture.
Yeah.
Please build it for me.
Yes.
So then this thing comes to Pretoria, and I start thinking, okay, but You
Where you put a
yeah,
tricycle,
we're not like Europe, right?
Yes.
So it's not like we don't have the same walking culture, etc. And it's
Yes.
also much, it's really difficult to get vendor licenses and stuff.
Yes.
It's very like blurred lines, very grey,
Yes.
because you're working with the municipalities.
Yes,
Anyway,
that's true. That's
so
true.
then I realized, but yes, okay, I don't think this tricycle is going to work in South Africa.
Yeah.
So then I sold it, and then I thought, okay, let's maybe do like a container.
Okay.
That's like, you know, somewhere in between a tricycle
yes,
and a shop. Yeah.
Yeah, in the shop.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of landlords at the time. Was that the case?
No, I think it had to do with if you fit out the container, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't work, you can move it.
Okay.
That was
Makes
like
sense.
to just de-risk it a bit.
Okay.
Okay. Because yeah, I won't go too back into my entrepreneurial journey, but I've made a lot of mistakes, and failures and stuff before I joined King Prize. So anyway.
So, but those mistakes are important.
Yeah, very important.
Those are those are the ones that's like people want to hear about.
Yeah. So anyway, so I had a bunch of ventures before King Prize that
How many businesses did you start up that failed?
It probably I'd say probably like 7, eh?
7.
Yeah.
And this one like
Trying stuff.
just different stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally out of your niche.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I think so it's important that you touch on it, because I think when obviously your failures, that becomes your building blocks.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
concept of Plato and the way we're doing it and our approach was,
Yes.
had to do with those failures and
Yeah.
the wrong decisions and stuff that you learn from, right?
So touch on that. I mean, like just looking at the businesses that you started, because many entrepreneurs start businesses and they maybe started like for a couple of months, they close it, and it just becomes like a vicious cycle as to what do I do next? What do I do next? And they feel stuck.
Yeah.
What got you out of it? And I mean, like because it's a tough one to be in. Just think about the Stephan that time when he was failing at those 7 businesses.
No, so if I look back at my first business at what was that, 2012.
Yes.
So I was 22, 23-ish.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember, but Eskom had this rebate program where you go to the big companies, you say, listen, you can replace your geyser with a heat pump and this, you can replace a mercury vapor with LED. So we facilitated that, and then we saw, listen, there's a certain type of light that we could bring in from China.
Yes.
Which gives the same lumen, saves a lot of money. And then anyway, so we did 150 projects in 1 year, and then I was like, okay, let's start our own light brand. So I flew over to China, decided on a name, and then we brought all these lights over.
Yes.
And then as the lights
what did it cost you at that time? What was the cost of all those lights?
I think that initial order was about 4 million rand.
Yeah.
But I had to go borrow from my dad, and it was
it was a whole mess.
but what ended up happening was, as the lights was on the ocean,
yes.
Eskom gave us 2 weeks notice and said the rebate is over.
What?
Yeah, so that was my first I want to say blood nose, because now you've built this whole business around the rebate program.
Yes, yes.
And Eskom was like, no, they needed the budget for the rebate is gone. They need it for Kusile and Medupi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so that was like a hectic moment. So in between that and I ended up at King Prize, there was like almost 6 months, and so now it's just me and my wife just got married, coming back from honeymoon.
Yes, coming
and
back from
Eskom gave the notice.
Huh?
And Eskom gave the notice like 2 weeks after.
2 weeks just after you got married.
Yeah. So that was a very hectic time. But anyway, so then I came up with this emergency app.
Yes.
I'll just give you like a small rundown, but how it worked is you go sign up, plumbers, electricians, ambulances, police, ADT, whatever.
Yes.
And then let's say your geyser bursts 12 o'clock at night, you just press
You just
panic,
press panic,
and then
yes.
obviously you've got a lot of suppliers. The one with first response gets the payout.
It's a yes.
So then I was like, okay,
It's actually
well,
a good idea. Huh?
well, that is insurance.
It's proper, yeah.
That's insurance.
Yeah.
So I need to chat to the insurance company, and
Yes.
that's how I ended up at King
At King
Price.
Price, yes.
So then I went to see Gideon Galloway,
Yeah.
who's the CEO and
Yeah,
founder
King
there.
Island, yes.
And then I pitched it to him, and he said, no, he likes it, but he doesn't think it's going to work. But I must come work here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And I said, what must I do? He said, you must just think out new stuff. And I said, well, so that's if you just go back a bit. But yeah, that's how I got that job. So
Yeah.
it's always, people always ask me, listen, but how did you end up here? Or how did you get your
Yes.
King Price job or whatever?
Yes.
And I think your question to like, I think it just goes, for me, I always tell people, between your 20 and 30s, it's almost like just fail.
Yeah.
Almost fail on purpose. So you can learn stuff, right?
Yes.
And also you can't connect dots looking forward.
Yes.
So now I can see, okay, this is my life, this is what I had to go through. But in that times, it's obviously, it's uncertain. So
Yes.
I actually chatted to a guy last night,
Yeah.
also like 20 years old, and I told him, for me the most important point is just to
Try.
try. It's almost
Yeah.
like you're creating your own luck.
Yes.
And even like, I use the example with being a Springbok, right?
Yes.
If you're a Springbok and you don't think there was some luck involved,
Yes.
you're a fool.
That's true.
Because the chances for you to become a Springbok is 0.1%.
Is it true?
Yeah, I worked it out. So I took all the high schools every year. How many
Yes.
guys?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you think of the last 10 years, it's almost the same group.
So yeah, it's true.
So if you're born the same year as Andre Pollard, well, unlucky.
Unlucky for you.
So anyway, so I think a big thing for me is to tell people to persevere, to keep trying, and at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you're gonna have building blocks,
Yes.
and you're gonna. I compare it to, I always tell people like collecting dots.
Yeah.
So your brain works like that.
Yeah.
How do you collect dots? Well, you learn a new subject, you meet
Yes.
new people,
Yes.
you come out of your comfort zone and
Yes.
come on a podcast.
Yes.
That for me, or you try a new thing, that for
Yes.
me is collecting dots. And then somehow, somewhere, your brain is going to be like, oh, that dot, that dot, that dot. And obviously failure is one of the most valuable dots for me.
Yes.
All right,
That's so
so-
true. That's so true. And
Anyway.
I think especially using those lessons that you've learned across the way, you're able to tell stories.
100%, yeah,
Understand?
war
And I
stories.
mean, like those are the stories that.
That's why I need a crew cut now, because I'm a soldier now. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, so sorry, I skipped a bit
Yeah.
back and forth, but
Yes.
long story short, so then let's go back to King Price, started
Yes.
the Moonshot Cafe, tried the wheelies thing, and then I was like, no, it's not gonna work. But at that time, I still have a lot of debt from my
Yes.
previous deal, right?
Yeah. So that's 4 million that actually
yeah,
put you
roughly,
behind.
yeah, roughly, yeah.
So you started on a negative.
Yeah, but like I always tell people, well, I could have gone to Harvard to get my MBA for
Yes.
4 million rand, or I,
Could have.
you know, so whatever,
Yes.
it's the same.
Yes.
But anyway, so yeah, at that point I couldn't just leave my corporate job and start a coffee shop.
Yeah.
So I approached my middle brother Petrus, who at that point he was like in between stuff, and I here's my pitch, you're gonna laugh, but I told him, listen, I did the calculations. I think a coffee shop can do like 10,000 rand net a month.
Yes.
Let's open 100, okay, and then we split 50-50. And then we each make 500 a month. That's easy, right?
That sounds very easy.
I was like, are you in? He's like, yeah, he's in. Shop. So that was middle 2018.
So you convinced him. You're
Yeah,
like,
like that was like middle 2018, and then we only opened our first site December 2019.
So December 2019,
Yeah.
that's when the first one started.
Yeah, so in Irene,
Yes.
next to a memorial site actually.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the joke is always if it could work there, it could probably work anywhere. Yeah, it was actually, I don't know if you know Irene, but it's actually one of the first concentration camps in the world.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and there was like a memorial site where we could get what do you call it, informal traders
Yeah,
license. And we
yeah.
could put the container there.
Container there, yes.
But obviously this was December 2019, and can you remember what happened February,
Following year,
no,
yes,
February
yes,
2020,
yes,
can you remember?
2020, yeah.
Yeah, COVID.
Yes.
So that's why I want to touch on the luck, or you can call
Yes.
it favor, or whatever
Yeah,
your belief is, belief system is. But the fact is, if we had at that time, we had 30 shops, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be sitting here.
No, of course not, yeah.
So I couldn't, I mean, it wasn't in my hands to
decide
to
your fate.
time,
Yes.
that perfect timing to say,
Yes.
listen, we only have one shop before COVID.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so what ended up happening there is, I don't know if you remember, but level 4, the informal traders could start trading.
Could start
But the
trading,
coffee
yes.
shops could only start trading on level 3.
Level 3, yes, yes, yes.
So
And
what-
it became much more difficult
Yeah.
at the time, yeah.
So what ended up happening is, we were the only coffee shop in Pretoria that was open. in COVID.
Oh.
And then
Oh.
it became a place of connection for people
Yes.
and community. And
Yes.
that almost became entrenched into Plato's DNA. And what we stand for
What we
today
stand for today.
is to create hubs for communities to connect and do life together. Yeah, so
What?
yeah, so that's
nah,
all.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
because we saw for the first time, like usually like I'm neighbors who hasn't chatted to each other
each
in
other
4
for a
years.
long
Now
time.
all of a sudden it's COVID.
Yeah.
You just want some human connection.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing that I think like most of the time we forget, that human connection during that time was so critical.
100%.
Because
yeah.
people feeling alone, people feeling what's.
Yeah.
But take me back, like when you started it, I mean like, because especially starting out with your pod, did you design the pod? Who came up with that whole feel? And
Yeah. I've got a bit of a brand and marketing design background, so it's
Yes.
just
yes.
another, let's call it another
Yes.
dot I collected in my life was, so now I'm in King Price, but I've still got this debt, so I have to
Yes.
side hustle at night. So I taught myself how to design, how to build websites.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So basically being able to do it all at a time.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, like most of the design stuff initially, I did. So I'm more like the design and marketing guy, and then my brother Petrus, he's like the coffee
He's the
guy.
coffee
So
guy,
he
yes.
figured it out from scratch. So that's why our slogan is coffee sculpted, community included. And a coffee sculptor just talks to, we don't know anything about coffee. So we had to figure it out and sculpt it the way that we thought people would like.
Would like it, yes.
Which was also actually cool because you don't have that backlog of info
Yeah.
where people are like, no, but this is how coffee should work. And,
Yes, that's true.
you know, so yeah, anyway.
That's so true.
And then the community included became just our thing where it's like, yeah. But just actually a step back, just on Plato, the
Yes.
name. So obviously in ancient Greek or ancient Greece, people come to the market plan,
So was
they'll
it always called Plato when you started out?
yeah, Plato,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So the idea was initially actually to do offices and, corporate office parks, schools and universities.
Yes. Yes.
And that's also why, so Plato started the first modern university,
yes.
in the Western world.
Yeah.
What do I want to say about Plato? Oh,
When it started out.
yeah. So, in ancient Greek times, people will come and, when you have, what's the right English word? Philosopher? Is that a word?
Yes. Yes.
So that Aristotle and Plato.
Yes.
And now we do it around a cup of coffee. I mean,
Yes.
when I say, Sheldon, let's go get a coffee, usually it's intentional.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to chat about, even though, let's say we meet at a matcha or a tea shop,
It doesn't matter.
we say,
yeah.
listen, let's go get coffee.
go
We
get
don't
coffee.
say, let's go get orange juice.
That's true.
So for me, that was quite a cool connection. So when you really want to have a deep, meaningful conversation with somebody,
And
you go
basically
for a coffee.
Go for coffee.
Yeah,
yes.
so that really became like a big thing for us. It's really to create spaces for people to have meaningful conversations, community. So even when you look at our baristas and how we approach, customer service,
Yes.
because we weren't coffee specialists in the beginning,
Yes.
but I had some UX and marketing design. We had a very customer and design first approach.
Do you think is that basically your unique selling proposition?
I think that I think that's a big part
The big
of
part.
what is differentiating us from other brands, because
Yeah.
that was like we had like a user experience first approach to
Yes.
coffee.
Yes.
So we employed people with nice personalities instead of
Instead of
you
the
know
skill set.
this crazy because you can teach
You can
somebody
teach, yes.
to make coffee. You can't
Yes.
teach somebody to have a nice personality.
That's true. That's so true.
So, and it's probably the same in your industry.
Yes.
It's like, I mean, if you're not a nice person at 25,
Yeah.
chances are slim you're going to become a nice person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's always been our approach, to get lacquer people.
Yes.
And then we teach them how to make coffee. And
Is there like so it's definitely like a script in terms of the type of person that
yeah,
you see.
100%.
Who
Yeah,
is
100%.
Plato?
Yeah.
Who is that barista that you're looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've sometimes we'll sit at a spur and the waiter was just incredible, and they will say, listen,
Don't you want to be?
you want to be a barista? Yeah, stuff like that
What?
does happen. Yeah. So
Yeah, but that's actually quite cool. Huh?
yeah.
That's
So
actually quite cool.
yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so what's important is that you have, I think for anyone out there, that attitude plays such a big role
Yeah.
that most of the time we tend to forget being human
Yeah.
is what keeps people ticking.
No,
And
100%.
I think that's such a massive thing that people underestimate, because most
Yeah.
of the time people look at stats, people look at all of those things that's out there, but the human element is quite key.
It's that human connection, and it's that sense of belonging. So when
Yeah.
you walk into the plate and the barista says, "Hi, Sheldon, you want flat white with almond milk?"
Yes.
Because he knows your order.
You already know it,
You
yeah?
feel like, yes, yeah, I'm needed in the world, or
Yes.
that's been our approach. So I don't know if you've seen, but we write personal messages on cups.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw that.
That was actually one of our baristas that came up
Are
with
you
that.
serious?
Yeah.
So he came up and
Trafina,
yeah.
it was our third shop in Atterbury Road. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, yeah.
So when you
we-
started out with that one store, I mean, like that one store,
Yeah.
the whole idea was always to scale.
Yes. No,
So that was the whole idea
I
from
think
the beginning.
the concept of Platon, because we said we want to do specialty coffee
Yes.
at scale
Yes.
without being snobbish.
Okay.
So because you get a lot of specialty coffee shops, they're not very inclusive.
That's so
Um,
true.
So you come in there
Yes.
and let's say you want to throw in sugar, they're somewhat like judgerig.
Yes.
You know, or you ask for a
yes.
decaf and they're like, no, decaf is not coffee.
Decaf, yes.
Or whatever.
That's so true.
So that irritated me. So I said, listen.
So based on
let's-
your experience, because you're a
100%.
customer, like
No, but what happened is so my wife at that time was, she's a big reason why I started Plato.
yes.
But I remember there was this specialty coffee shop in Pretoria, and she was pregnant at that
Yes.
time, so you can't drink caffeine.
Yes.
We went in and she asked, listen, can she have decaf?
Yeah.
And they were like super hostile and like,
Wow.
alienating in a way.
Wow.
And then I was like, yes, this isn't coffee. It's like coffee should be about inclusion, not about,
Yes.
we're fancy. If you don't drink coffee like
don't
that.
drink coffee
Anyway,
like this.
so I think what ended up happening in COVID was a lot of these specialty, coffee stores didn't make it because
make it, yeah.
they didn't. So what I said, like that they were only focusing on 2% of the country, actually, maybe
that's-
even 0.5%.
Yes.
And I said, no, if somebody wants to drink a large cappuccino with 6 shots of vanilla
On it, why
syrup,
not?
I mean, go for it.
Yes.
And I think that's why, we work in towns like Rustenburg and Tanin and the smaller towns, which isn't, let's say, that educated yet around coffee.
Coffee, yeah.
But I mean, we
because I mean,
still-
like, who knows
Yeah,
what?
I mean, we're still catering to kids, to anybody. But anyway, yeah.
I think that's the most because it's such a lesson to be learned here. I think like most of the time you build these coffee shops will build, or basically in any business, you build that niche.
Yeah.
And sometimes what you necessarily don't like is not what your customer necessarily
No,
likes.
exactly, yeah.
And something you have to tailor your offering according to what the customer wants.
Yes.
And
no.
and we tend to forget it because the customer
Yeah.
is at the heart of your business.
I always say this is one of my lines. I always tell people, do you want to be cool or do you want to make money?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's say
Yes,
I want to be a
yes.
bit of both, but like let's explain now. But in a
Yes.
Plato concept, it's more
Yes.
important for me to create a sustainable business that's making money than to be
Yes.
cool and say, no, listen, you don't cater for people who drink whatever,
Yeah.
large cappuccinos,
Yeah.
cappuccinos with 6
Yeah.
sugar, right?
Yeah.
So that's just been our approach from the start, is to really curate hubs for anybody.
I
And
think-
it's so nice to see the range of clients, because
Yeah.
we're very like neutral. We're a very neutral brand. So
Yeah.
young, old, black, white, doesn't matter.
I think that's the most
Everybody's
beautiful
welcome, yeah.
thing about your brand, because it has that offering for everyone. You understand? I've seen coffee shops. I know of coffee shops in certain markets, whereas, for example, if you go to Durban,
Yeah.
there would only be a certain group of people that will go to that coffee shop. And I mean, like, their coffee shops does really well, but it's actually stopping them from scaling into other markets.
100%,
So this particular coffee shop I'm talking about really does well in the Muslim community, but he tried to scale in Cape Town. And it was a dismal fail. And then he tried to scale in Joburg, then he failed again.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I think,
Yeah, I think, and also for me from the start, I said we as a brand, we're just always going to stay neutral. So we're not going to get involved in politics and religion and whatever, because so everybody feels welcome.
Yes.
And I mean, with this, the last 3 years, all this wokeness and stuff going on, I just said from the start, I'm not getting involved with this stuff.
yes,
I don't know why people feel, and it's probably just like, it's my opinion,
yeah,
but a brand doesn't need to have a political view for me.
it doesn't.
Like, I mean, you can just be neutral.
You can just be neutral.
You can
That's
just,
true.
I mean, why do people want
They want to
to say as a
associate
brand,
it.
it's not like it's a human being that needs to
Yes.
say, listen, I'm voting for Trump or not.
Yes,
But anyway, so I think that also, it was good for us.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're not going to support this group or this group,
Or
because
this group.
by supporting this group,
yes,
you're alienating this group.
that's true.
And vice versa, you can see what was happening
Yes.
in the States. But anyway, so I think that also from the start was, we just say, yes, obviously I've got my beliefs as a personal human being,
Yes,
but as a brand,
you want your brand to appeal to the larger
yeah,
audience.
exactly. You don't have to alienate people.
Talking about
Yeah,
the
anyway.
brand, I mean, like, if you look at, you were intentional from the beginning about the type of brand that you want to build. What did it take from that grassroots level, being able to start out and say, this is how I want my brand to be?
Yeah.
Because people forget about it. People focus much more on the store and basically look and feel and all of those things, but they forget what makes a brand a brand. Like,
Yeah.
Plato today is a brand, and people talk about it. What is that element?
Yeah, there's this cool line I remember I read once. It says, marketing is like asking somebody out on a date.
Yes.
Branding is the reason they say yes.
Yes.
And I think I just have a massive passion for building brands. I always tell people, if I can create a new brand every day, I'll do it. It just energizes me. So I think that was that was let's call it a strong point of mine. And then my brother brought the other part, which is obviously you can create a cool brand as you want. If the product is crap,
And it doesn't make
you know,
sense.
people
yes.
are gonna maybe come back twice or 3 times.
Yes.
So Petra's really got himself entrenched in the coffee and the quality of that. So he obviously likes it when people think the coffee is the best in the country. I like it when people think the brand is the best.
brand is-
or like, let's say not in the country. If people say there's like Plato,
Yes.
the coffee makes
The
Plato.
coffee
And
makes
other
Plato.
people will say, listen, but no, the brand
The
makes
brand
Plato.
makes Plato,
But it's
yeah.
definitely, I think it's it was just a very cool a mix of the two.
Mix of the two,
Yeah,
yes.
Which, but I mean, when I look back, the name Plato, there was a bunch of reasons why I chose it. Like I mentioned, the one, it was
Yes.
short, it's sketchy, the domains were available. I remember.
Yeah, that's the first thing you must check, huh?
Yeah.
You must make sure that it's
all
available.
the Instagram handles and stuff. And then I could, at that time, when we just started, we didn't have money lying around because, like I mentioned, I was still in debt. So we bought platocoffee.com,
Okay.
But we couldn't afford it. It was 35,000 rand. So we said, no, we'll pay it off every month.
Yes.
So for
yes,
3 years,
yes.
we paid the
Busy
1,000
paying it
rand a
off.
month.
Yeah.
So
yes.
luckily we own the domain now. But yeah, so it's yeah. So for me, like when it comes to name and brand, I get very finicky on that. Yeah, but in time you obviously also get people better than you.
Yeah.
I mean, so we've got an incredible creative director now, Ines, he's like I mentioned, he's incredible with brands and packaging and
Yes.
stuff.
Because
yeah.
I think that's because many times people forget because as a founder of a business, you can't wear all the hats at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think
And you do it for
Yes,
those 4 years, right?
yes, yes.
But yeah, you get to a point
When
where
it comes to a point where you you can do it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, up until a year and a half ago, I still did all the designs. I ran Instagram, I ran the marketing, but it just became too crazy.
It just became too much.
Yeah, but I like I mentioned, we had a braai last night with a guy, and so I'm a college dropout.
Yes.
But anyway, so we were just chatting. Is the degree still relevant?
Relevant, yes.
Not relevant. Sorry, I only speak English and self-defense actually. But anyway, so then he tells a story where somebody asked a founder, is like, listen, so do you have a degree? And the guy says, yes, I've got 7.
Yes.
And the guy's like, no man, what do you mean? Oh, you got 7? It's like, no, I just employed 7 people with degrees. But that's basically what I mean. Yes. I know I'm not the best in packaging design.
Packaging, yes.
I can't do accounting like you know.
Yeah,
so you get obviously guys and I think that's the thing of a good founder. I'm not saying I'm a good founder because I'm doing that. I'm just saying it's where you can see, listen, but I'm not the best in this.
Yes.
There's somebody who's a specialist.
Yes.
That's better than me. And yeah, I think that's what we talked about earlier about getting the right people.
The right people
you
for
know,
your business.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I still can't make coffee.
Till today.
People think I'm lying, but literally, I'm not built that way. I'm not a detail person. I'm not.
It's not who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I always tell people now I outsource that.
Yes. It's so interesting that you say so because I remember with Ford, and they were basically cross-questioning him about all the skill set, all the knowledge that he has, and as a founder, and they were saying basically asking him questions about certain things, and basically said, you know what, I have a button on my desk, and I can press this button, and I can get somebody to actually answer your question for you because I don't know everything.
Exactly.
And I think it's so important that we realize that, as founders, we don't know everything, but we need a certain skill set to actually complement it.
100%.
So take me back. So looking at now, we go into the first store, and as the first store, did you decide that from the first store that I want to franchise?
Not necessarily. So the initial, let's call it 8 stores, we debt financed.
Yes.
So we owned them corporately.
Yes. How difficult was that though? Because
that is exactly. So at that point, remember, I'm still in corporate.
Yes.
I still have
you were still in corporate?
I still have my job. Petrus is running the corporate stores.
Yes.
And then at a point, 2022, beginning of 2022.
Yes.
So now Plato is going for 2 years basically.
Yes.
Right? We started end of 2019.
Yes.
And then I told Pet, listen, I'm done with corporate. I think we've got enough traction. There's a brand. We're starting to get inquiries for franchises. And I said, listen, I'm gonna jump.
Yes.
But I said, it's too. So we've got Plato Coffee, which is our corporate stores, and we've got Plato Franchise, where all the franchise agreements and all that stuff. So it's 2 separate companies. So I said, listen, we ring fence the corporately owned stores. So what it's like Plato Coffee, and then we've got a bunch of trading entities. So Plato is then call it the shareholders.
Yes.
Shareholder.
Yes.
And then I said, listen, I'm gonna jump, but I won't take any money out of the corporate structure.
Yes.
And so the calculation was, okay, I just have to sell 1 franchise a month to make my salary.
To actually make your salary, yes.
And I think we actually did 11 or 10 the first year, so I just came
yeah.
like one short. But
But
yeah.
with that being said, I mean, like from being able to scale from that one store to 8 stores, was the method of bootstrapping the whole time?
Yeah, 100%.
One way, just like bootstrap,
just
taking
like-
one store, putting money in the
Yeah,
next store,
yeah,
like
yeah,
constantly.
I mean, so I always make the jokes. I was in corporate, and my brother, he obviously accidentally,
Yes.
not on purpose,
Not on purpose.
wrote off his car. He was in a car accident,
Yes.
and they paid him out.
Yes.
So the joke is always like he lived off his written off car cash and had to eat with pigs and water for a year or two. So no, I mean, so that's the only way. I mean, and I think also when people in corporate has an idea,
Yes.
like you need a jockey to get it off the ground.
Yeah,
Like in my
that's
case,
true.
I couldn't jump and say,
No, you
listen,
couldn't jump. You
okay,
couldn't
listen,
jump.
I'm gonna start one coffee shop and it has to replace my corporate salary. So
You can imagine you just married,
exactly.
marriage and
Got two
basically
kids,
things are
yeah.
happening and it's
Yeah.
like, what do I do in this case? Do I
Exactly.
take a leap of faith?
Yeah.
And I think that actually reminds me, you know, the thing is like most of the time as potential entrepreneurs, you think that you can just take the leap of faith and not do it calculated.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you actually find yourself the next day like, what did I do?
Yeah.
What do I do? What do I do
Exactly.
next?
Exactly. So there's obviously, you know, I think we're in a let's call it a season or a stage where people glamorize entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So I just say like it's not necessary for everybody,
Yes.
right? And yeah, you must take the sacrifices and the late nights into account. So people see now later and it's like, how did you do this in 5 years? I'm like, it's not 5 years, it's 15 years.
It's
It started when I
late
was
nights.
21.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
it's all the
yes.
learning, it's all the failures.
And all that flat whites as well.
All the flat whites.
Yeah, flat nights and the late
Too much
nights.
too much flat whites make you a fat white. Yeah.
But I think
So
you-
I'm on Cortadas now, like a little less milk, yeah.
just doing the
Yeah.
the minimum. Yes, no, but I think people always look at what is the easiest, quickest, and fastest way,
Yeah.
and forgetting actually the hard work that actually goes into it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not looking at what it takes actually to build this thing from the grassroots up.
Yeah, I think I always tell people like if you take effort over time, nah, and you'll know
Yeah.
that consistent effort over time. Like I saw the other day, you probably know Stephan, the Diary of a CEO,
Yes.
where I mean he's now almost the biggest podcast show in the world.
In the world, yes,
He's
yes,
just behind Joe Rogan.
yes.
But literally, I think for the first 2 or 3 years, when you look at his viewership, there was literally it's just like a straight line.
Straight
the whole
line,
time.
yeah.
And it's just, and then all of a sudden, boom, it goes. So
And it goes, yeah.
I think it comes down to like effort over time, and you really graft.
Yes.
Yeah, magic happens. Yeah, anyway,
But it takes time.
it does take time, and I think people are like, listen, no, I want to just quickly do this, and yeah, so it's definitely effort over time. And I think my mom sent me a little sticker yesterday. She said when experience, no? Yeah, sorry, when talent meets experience, you know, magic happens.
Yes.
So and
yes.
it's that experience is that collecting the dots.
Yes.
You have
yes.
to go through experiences, putting yourself out there,
Yeah.
out of your comfort zone. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm repeating myself, but it's just like very important for me
Exactly.
for people to understand.
Exactly.
Go and collect dots.
Yes. And those dots that you learn along the line might not tell a story
Connect
today,
now. Yeah, exactly.
but eventually, though, in
Yeah.
the long term, it's going to
100%.
talk about now.
It must. It's almost like
Yes.
that classic thing says, everything will be okay in the end.
Yes.
If it's not okay, it's not the end.
Yes.
So I'm very optimistic. I'm not a half full type of guy.
Yes.
I'm a glass full.
Yes,
type of guy, yeah.
yes. But how important is it? I mean,
No.
like for you to be optimistic. Just think about doing business in South Africa. I mean, like South Africa is one of the most beautiful places,
Yeah.
but it can also be one of the most dreadful experiences for an entrepreneur to actually start out and trying to just build something legitimately.
Yeah, yeah. Like I mentioned, like these grey areas, and you have to like, it's not like it's so it's true. I mean, even if you just look at something practical like load shedding.
Yes.
I mean
yes.
now, load shedding 4 hours without coffee. The inverter only lasts 2 hours. Now you have to put on a generator.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, no, it's challenging. You have to sometimes just.
Because why do you do it like
bide your
this?
tongue,
Because now you're
yeah.
like in such a catch-22 as to you need to push your ops costs up. Now you still have overheads to pay. You have, and you still have to make means of downtime.
Yeah, yeah.
Because downtime is inevitable.
Yeah, so I had a love-hate relationship with load shedding.
Yes.
I'll tell you why. We were one of the only chains who's like all the shops is open 6 to 6 daily, and we open. We've got generators or
Yes.
inverters.
Yes.
So what ends up happening is when you have power when all the other coffee shops is closed,
Yes.
then it makes up for the extra.
It makes
overage.
up for that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so,
yes.
we
yes. And
just
you're actually building
decided-
a customer base as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah. Well,
Actually-
people are at home and they can't make coffee, so they quickly come.
So they come here.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So it's a blessing in disguise.
yeah, it is a bit 100%.
It's exactly how COVID was a blessing for you as well. Because
Yeah,
COVID was
100%.
also a blessing in disguise.
100%, yeah. Yeah, so because what ended up happening, like the coffee shops, you know, who didn't make it through COVID started, closed down, and then it was great sites for us to take up.
To take over, yeah.
Yeah.
But you think in terms of franchising, I know franchising because people look at franchising as the go-to
Yeah.
thing for everything. I mean, like I speak to businesses and the first thing they think about is like, you know what, I have this one store now, I'm going to franchise it.
franchise, yeah.
You see, what is not only the reputational risk,
Yeah.
but what's the things to watch out for in terms
Yeah.
of when you do franchise?
Yeah, so I think it was good for us to obviously have 10 stores of our own before
Yes.
we started franchising.
Because it's being able to replicate the same thing
Yeah,
across board.
exactly. So what we realized is when we hit like 10 stores, we lost the human connection. We like, usually me and Peters will be in the shops and people will know.
Okay.
And so coffee has got a lot of relational capital, right? It's
Yes.
not just I'm selling you a drink, it's like, listen, I'm making your day, then I'm selling you a drink. Okay?
Yes.
So what we said with the franchises, obviously the most important part is the partner or the franchise. And
Yes.
and our approach is I always tell people we're not a franchise, we're a franchise or a famchise.
Franchise,
A
yes.
famchise. So we really choose our franchisees as like
Like,
as partners.
as
Like it's
partners,
not
yeah.
like it's not because a lot of the times like the franchise or franchisee relationship is really like it's not a lacquer relationship, you know.
that's true, huh?
So we said from the start, listen, we're gonna choose lacquer people who's community builders. So that's why we really get good, you know, traction in smaller towns because now you get a Tanny that's in the town, everybody knows her,
Everyone knows her,
and
yes.
she opens the Plato. So now all of a sudden,
Yes.
you know, it's the town's Plato where
Yes, yes, where it's
you
not
know,
like it's Stephan's plate.
yeah,
though.
so exactly. So we saw when we started selling our corporate stores to hands-on franchise owner operators,
Yes.
they did better.
Oh, yes.
So that fitted nicely into our you call it like the owner operator
Model.
who's in his cafe, yeah.
Yes.
So now our model is you can't just sit in Cape Town at 20 Platos in Pretoria.
Yes.
The guy who runs it needs to have at least 25% stake in the shop, at least.
Okay.
So you can get
I like
an
that.
investor,
Yes.
and the investor can say, listen, cool, I'm gonna buy 3 shops for you, but that guy, whether it's sweat equity or
Has to
whatever,
have.
has to have, yeah. And also our model is the operator,
Yes.
like 3 shops is the sweet spot. So we try and get 3 shops in a cluster, and then
Yes.
that franchisee is hands-on in his 3 shops, because over 3 you start losing that
That aspect.
that community aspect again.
So you wouldn't necessarily have like multiple franchises that own up to 5 stores.
No, we don't do
We
that.
don't do that at all.
Mm-mm.
Sure. Yeah.
So people get
So don't
irritated.
franchises complain about it? I mean, like,
They do, but I mean, we just say, listen, it's fine, you can have more, but you
Yes.
have to partner with somebody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
makes sense.
there is like
Yes.
bigger investors who's like, okay,
Yes.
they've got a jockey in George with
Yeah.
3 shops. They've got a jockey in Witbank with 2 shops.
And that people have sweat equity
Yes,
in the
exactly.
in
Well,
the store.
well, if they can give 20, put down 25%, that's fine.
Yes.
Or that it must be a sweat equity
I
deal.
like that
No.
idea because
No.
we're actually looking at empowering
100%, yeah.
the
100%.
person that's actually running the
Exactly.
store, whether it's your manager or whether it's the supervisor, anyone that's
Yeah.
actually running on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
And that person, because there's something special about having people that's on the ground that actually loves your customer and treats your customer. And it speaks much longer than the manager type of feel.
100%.
And I think that's the one specialty about franchising, is being able to get that people in that's willing to go the extra mile for your brand.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, and then that's why I think that's also a differentiating factor, is because our franchisees, they're hands-on, they are the managers. So
Yes.
in our P&L, we don't put a manager's salary in there. Because you're the manager.
You are the manager, yeah. you
Yeah,
are the
so,
manager.
and then all of a sudden your ROI is also better.
That's nice.
But yeah, so I just want to take a step back. Before we went and said, listen, okay, let's just grow this brand.
Yes.
Like, we first had to make sure that we could monitor all our extractions.
I like it.
So I don't know if you know how
Yes.
coffee works. I'll just high level
Yes.
for people who's watching. So you've got a recipe.
Yes.
Let's say a recipe is 20 grams of coffee and you have to extract it 30 seconds. Let's say that is Plato's recipe.
Yes.
We then put a retrofit into every single espresso machine, and so you've got 2 or 3 group heads. So every group head's got a little monitor in it,
Okay.
and we can see every single shot that's extracted in the country. I can log in on an
What?
app now, and I can see, okay, listen, this shot was under extracted, this shot was over extracted, and then we can
What?
see, okay, what shop needs training,
Yes.
why aren't the baristas hitting it.
Yes.
You can also
Then it comes down
look
to
at when is maintenance due on the machine,
Yes,
because we
yes,
could check.
yes.
So once we figured that out, we were like, okay, now we can scale.
I can do
So
something.
now we can scale specialty coffee, because
Yes.
we do about almost 500 double shots of coffee a month. But I can see literally every single one. I could see, was it 28 seconds or 35 seconds? It's quite cool.
That
eh?
detail. Huh?
Yeah.
That detail.
And then
That
it's like,
data is actually
listen, then we can
critical,
say,
yeah.
listen, QC, that store needs
Needs some
training.
training, yeah.
Because the baristas aren't hitting it. And they can also see it,
They
right?
can also
There's
see
an
it. Yeah.
iPad.
Yeah.
And so our coffee works is you must just calibrate
Yes.
the grinder the whole time, because
Yes.
it needs to hit that extraction time. If it's
Yes.
too coarse, obviously it's going to go too quickly, it's
Too
going to be
quickly,
acidic.
yes.
If it's too fine, it's going to over extract, and it's
Yeah.
usually bitter.
And that's
So
how you
there's
can-
that sweet spot. So
Yeah.
our parameters is you're not allowed to go 2 seconds over or under. There's brands in the country, they're like, it's okay, you can go 10 seconds over or under.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't get consistency.
Consistency.
Because and then the guys ask us, listen, do we not want to make the parameters bigger? We're like,
Yeah.
no, we don't. We're not going to make the goalpost bigger.
Yeah.
Rather make it very small,
Smaller, yeah.
and rather hit it 60% of the time. It's still
Yes.
better than hitting 100%.
100% and
Yeah.
basically hitting mass.
Yeah. So I think that is why that is how we could scale
Yes.
specialty
Yes.
coffee at scale. And you'll see, you can go to a Plato. If the guy's not weighing, and extracting and calibrating,
Yeah.
your coffee is they're not doing it right.
Well, they're not doing it the same.
We're not a Wors machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had this thing where people are like, listen, but you really take long with your coffee.
Yeah.
And we did a poll and we said, listen, if you have to look at price, quality,
Yeah.
and waiting time, how long
Yes.
you wait,
How long you wait for
Nah.
it? Yeah.
everybody said quality.
Quality. Yeah.
They're willing to wait.
Yeah, willing to wait for the
Yeah.
quality.
Because
But
also
don't you get disgruntled customers?
you do, but then they don't really obviously then understand that they're getting quality, and then they're not really a Plato customer.
Customer.
You're
And
right,
understanding your customer is
Yeah.
so vital, because you might as well just go to the garage and go get your coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you know it's going to be nice coffee, you're willing to wait.
You're willing to wait for it. Yeah.
So that's what the data told us.
Yeah. I think most of the time people compromise their data, and people don't actually take it too seriously
Yeah.
and focus much more on basically the shortcuts,
The quick buck.
the quick
I mean,
buck.
for me, the most, if you're a coffee owner, you know what's the first thing people with coffee shops cuts on? You know what?
What?
Coffee.
Why?
They want to cut on coffee. No, they
That
want
doesn't
to
make
cut their
sense.
costs on coffee. So if you think about it, you only use 20 grams per shot,
Yes.
right? And if you say, listen, okay, but let's say a kilogram of beans, let's say it's 400 rand.
Yes.
You're getting 50 shots. Okay, let's make it a easy calculation. Let's say it's 500 rand a kilogram beans.
Yeah.
You're getting 50 shots
From
out of
that.
it, right?
Yes.
So it's literally, you can then work out, you know, the difference it makes to go to a 400 rand kilogram bag.
Yeah.
It's not a lot
It's not a lot.
per drink.
Yes.
So you could much rather save on milk and cups and stuff. But the first thing people do is like, listen, I'm just going to buy the cheapest beans.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah,
but
you
but
can't
that-
buy the cheapest
but
beans.
that's your
Yeah,
product.
That's the product.
You know,
yeah.
are you
Yeah.
gonna buy the cheapest?
No, you can't buy the
Huh?
cheapest clipper because what you going to do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You're gonna ruin my
Yeah. You have to run a,
my already receding hairline. Your customers aren't gonna come
I
back.
don't know to come back.
Yeah, flip. But yeah, it's so funny to see where people just the first thing they want to compromise is the actual thing they want to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
anyway.
So in terms of that, what's your franchise as well? How long is that franchise training?
So we're actually launching a training academy now in Cape Town. Yeah, which is quite
I
exciting.
must say it's beautiful. Eh?
Yeah, yeah.
If there's one thing that I think you really do well, besides anything else, is that the look and feel, the cleanliness, the architecture.
Yeah.
It's like just on a whole nother level. Like it's stuff that you've never seen before. You understand?
Oh,
I mean, like
thanks,
just looking at that white finish.
Yeah.
Just looking at, I mean, like, although like the other brands would scream out, I am here, I am this, I'm this. And Plato comes in like a subtle type of
Yeah.
feel that's minimalist.
Yeah.
I mean, like you walk into a Plato store, it's like totally, and you see like everything is just in place. So yeah. No,
Yeah,
no,
thanks,
no,
man.
no.
I appreciate it.
Okay,
No, so from the start I said,
Yeah, guys, you can hear I'm a Plato customer. So.
yeah, I'm gonna send this guy some beans. No, so from the start I said I want to be the eye store of coffee shops.
Okay.
So when you look in an eye, when you walk into an eye store, whether you're an Apple fan or not, it feels aspirational. It does
Yes.
feel clean and neat and everything's in place.
Yes.
So that was our approach from the beginning. And when people say, I mean, if you look, when they say clean, you know, it's like it's got a double meaning. It's like clean. You have to actually keep it clean
Keep it
because it's
clean,
white,
yes.
and then also clean from an aesthetic point of view.
Yes.
Yeah, the younger generation say it's clean.
Yes.
Aesthetics
Clean.
is clean
Yeah.
now. But
Clean
anyway.
with the K.
Yeah, so that's also one of the stuff I really love is I always tell people, and that's why I see you also wear black.
Yeah.
You also always wear black.
Like, yeah.
I also always wear black. That's like an architecture
That's
thing. I
like-
think. But I always tell people I'm a wannabe architect.
Yeah.
But no, anyway, I do the fun ideation stuff when it comes to the shops and the art direction. So
Yes.
I really enjoy that. So now I'm doing the fun part of
fun around
architecture. Yeah, so we actually have an internal. Well, we started a company, an architecture firm.
Yeah.
That does all the does all the plater and
Also,
all the
it's like
project
an
planning.
in-house architecture company.
Yeah, it's a
that does-
separate company in
Yes.
our holding group, but it does all the platers. Yeah.
How important was to separate it? You think it
So
played a massive
initially,
role?
yeah, so it was quite hectic because now, well, it's the classic thing: you jump off a cliff and you have to build an airplane.
Build something from scratch, yes.
So it was hectic the last year or what, but now it's really working like a. It was just to compartmentalize, like, okay, this is plater and this is the architecture firm,
Okay,
you know.
okay.
But it's like
Okay.
we now start getting outside clients who's like in retail.
Yes.
So
yes,
we want to
yes.
be retail specialists, like 50 to 150 square shops.
Okay.
So yeah, we've done a pizza shop. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's a business on its own.
That's a business on its own, yeah.
That's a
But
business
it
on
does
its own.
feed nicely into
Into
plater
what you do,
because we have
into what you
to
do, because I mean,
design the
like-
shops anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
Just keeping
yes.
the money in the ecosystem.
In the
yeah.
ecosystem. How important is that? Because like especially like with you, for example, and one thing I've learned about you, like you always stick to your lane. You understand?
Yeah.
You stick to what you know.
Yeah.
because you rather outsource the stuff that you don't know.
No, so I think so we also in our ecosystem, we also own 2 roasteries, which obviously roast for Plato, but we own them. So that's a bit different than like a Vida, where they've got an external contract roaster.
Yeah.
We're our own contract roaster in a sense, so we can, look at the quality, the sourcing of the beans, all that stuff, because it's still
under
internal. It's still under one roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the whole vertical integration, because if you know that you
100%.
So you're basically controlling the supply chain from start to
finish.
Like
we also we acquired a company a while ago that brings in the espresso machines. So it's nice to obviously, cool. You've got your shop, we design your shop, you buy the equipment. It's just very seamless. But it was a it was hard work to get to this point where it's like, okay, this company does this company does that.
Because that's a business on its own.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a business on its own.
Luckily, it was a already established business, so we just acquired it.
Okay. And especially when you talk about acquisitions, because I know a lot of guys will look at buying businesses, but then the business that you buy doesn't complement just your service offering. And they tend to do something totally different.
Yeah, I think that is part of sticking to your lane. Like, if we make an investment or acquisition or whatever, it should fit into our group.
Yes.
Like, for instance, we also recently bought a bakery.
Yes.
That used to supply to all the platers, and we're like, okay, this makes sense.
Yes.
It's just going to fit into Plato. We're just going to supply all the platers.
Yeah.
And it's going to be our own bakery. So I think if it makes sense so like Plato will always be the core.
Yes.
But if we get, like the equipment, the imports, and obviously the bakery, if it makes sense
together,
to your ecosystem, or the architectures, architects, it helps.
It helps.
But I don't think I won't go and say, listen, okay, let's start an insurance company in the Plato group or whatever. You're right.
It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense.
Maybe it makes sense if you've got 10,000 franchises and you want to be the broker. I don't know.
Broker as well.
Exactly.
Do everything
or you underwrite yourself. But anyway.
But that's so now we're looking at so I mean in the space of how many years is now? 8 years?
No. So end of this year, 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, so it's like just over 5.5 years. Yeah.
I think this has been a record growing business in the space of such a short time.
I think probably in South Africa, but there's this coffee shop called Lacken Coffee in China.
In China, yeah. No, they on every corner.
I think they're on 24,000
thousands, yeah.
And like in 8 years, and then one of the original founders, they were almost bankrupt, so that's obviously the other side of the coin. But he broke away from Lacken and started a new brand.
Yeah.
He's already on 6,000 shops.
What?
So China is creating a bit of a global supply shortage.
No, I agree.
But anyway.
I think I actually went into Lacken Coffee to go buy it because I was in China. And you know what's so amazing is that it's on every corner.
Is it?
Like every corner that you see, like you'll find a road like going all the way down and you just see there's Lacken Coffee, there's a Lacken Coffee, it's like maybe 10, just like
Then on the other level, I mean, so I think...
Yeah, but the population also...
Yeah, population, and I think also how quick you can shop it there.
Yes. Everything.
So I mean, I shouldn't compare us to China, but it was fast. It still feels surreal to me. Like when I tell the story, it's like, it's very humbling for me.
Yeah.
And then that's why I said there is some form of luck or favor.
Yes.
It's not just.
It's not just all your work.
I hope I never lose that. To think, okay, yes, we've made it and we're out of the woods. It's still for me. The partnerships and the collabs and big banks want support with us. It's surreal to me.
How important is that that, just talking about the collaboration alone, because I mean,
know.
like, especially just looking at you.
Yeah, I
you
love it.
and- yeah.
We're gonna do a Legends coffee bag soon.
No, we'll do a Plato Legends coming soon.
Yeah.
But in terms of a collab, I mean, like the collab is something that you're quite fond of.
I love it, yeah.
And that's like something that I've seen. The other day I was walking in a Discam store, and while busy going through my supplements, and I'm looking at the aisle, and yeah, I just see Plato, and I'm like, huh? What is Plato doing in the supplement aisle? Well, Plato has actually partnered up with USN.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, I just think so. So when I met Albie for the first time, he's also like he's very good branding, marketing guy. And then I asked him like, how do they usually? Because I remember that they used to do like Bar One and
Yes,
you know those guys.
yes, I remember. Yes.
And he said basically, because I asked, do we get royalty? How does it work? And basically he said, we're basically tapping into each other existing client base.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened. So now all of a sudden, you know, so I believe marketing is you just have to see a brand once.
Yes.
It's like when you want to buy a car, right?
Yeah.
You want to buy a red Polo, the next day you're going to see 20 red Polos.
Yeah, that's true.
It's how it works.
That's so true.
So for me, and that's why, so just back to King Price, when I just started there, one of my first projects I did is, I don't know if you've ever seen King Price's ads, but I started with two of my friends. We started the funny ads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I said, listen, we're not a household brand. Let's just make funny content and just slap King Price logo on there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when,
That
okay,
became
cool.
the thing,
King Price logo, what is this? And then all of a sudden you see a billboard. Anyway, so for me, the USN thing was, I don't know how many discounts there are, 300?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, Plato is in this game, and people that's never seen our brand, we're not a household brand.
Yes.
You walk past and you see the logo, and now all of a sudden you go on Instagram, and then you drive past one because now all of a sudden you see it.
You see it.
So for me, that's where collab's coming.
It speaks to your mind,
exactly.
and it speaks to
So you're basically entering an existing client base, and for them, so we've got by far the youngest. If you look at our customer segmentation,
Yes.
by far, like if you look at 18 to 25-year-olds, we're miles ahead of any brand, coffee brand.
Yes.
So what happens is, and then they've got a bit older market with USN because, you know, the younger generation, they
because USN has been around for many years.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You know, the newer brands like Meta Labs and Thrifty Nutrition, those guys, like the younger people.
Yes, I go in for that.
Now they partner with Plato and they're
Yes.
like, cool, they've got exposure to,
They got
to the
exposure to
younger
that, yes,
kids
yes.
again. And for us, we got exposure to
To their market.
all the market.
Yes.
So that was really one of our best collabs from I think a brand exposure point of view.
Yes.
But yeah, I always tell people I want to be the Pharrell Williams of you know, of coffee shops. You know, he always like collabs with Woolies and whatever. And I just think there's
something to do there.
massive. Yeah, we I don't know if you saw the Montfort cookie one that we did. Did you see do you know Montfort cookies?
No, I don't know Montfort.
So anyway, you must go check them out. They make these incredible cookies.
Yes.
And now we've got limited editions. It's only available at Plato stores nationwide.
Yes.
And every month we do a new cookie for 3 months. And I mean, it's incredible. It's driving traffic to our stores because it's only available at Plato.
It's only available at Plato.
And they also use they're very clever with like scarcity. You know, it's only like
it's like just
it's only
a
available
certain-
for this month, and then it's done.
So you
So we
won't
literally they dropped off at all our Platos nationwide on the Monday. I
Yeah.
think Tuesday it was sold out. 10,000
Are you
cookies.
serious?
It was out. It was like, and then people were like, okay, but when is it coming again? And we said, only Monday.
What?
So we're doing like 4 Mondays. But anyway, so that's also a great collab.
That's actually quite cool, huh?
Yeah. So
That's really
so
cool.
I really like that. I just think if obviously you don't want to become a brand. I don't know what's the right word.
The brand that everyone jumps on.
Yeah. So like you still don't want to dilute and become
Yes,
cheap in a way.
yes,
So
yes.
It does have to make sense for your brand.
Definitely has to make sense.
But yeah, I mean USN and Montfort has been really good.
Yeah.
Good for us. And then we also do, you know, we've done stuff with Dermalogica, and where it's like they come do activations and cotton on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it talks to our client base and, you know, the whole, I read an article the other day just about the health movement.
Yes.
I mean, the thing was around matcha, in the UK.
Yeah.
And now our dad is like taking over, but literally I think there was 150 pubs that closed the last 2 years in Greater London
Why?
because everybody's just on this health trend and health craze. You know, it's like they don't
What?
want to drink alcohol.
That's crazy.
So you'll see on Instagram and stuff. You get this morning raves
yeah.
where people come in, have a rave, have a coffee or a matcha, and then
Then you're gone.
yeah.
What?
So it's obviously in Cape Town, and just across the country we do a lot of like running. So we've done the ultimate run with USN. That's also been working very and it's just come back to listening to your clientele in a way, and understanding, you know, who's your clientele and what they want. In Cape Town, it's very interesting, right? Because you've got all this different almost sub niches. Like you've got the cold plungers, you've got the matcha drinkers, you've got the the runners, and you always have to like cater to everybody.
Cater to everyone,
So then we'll get a cool matcha brand or whatever, and then relate to them. But I'm a massive fan of
collabs.
Collabs, and you know, like I mentioned earlier, it's not like I'm not going to start a protein brand on the Plato because people are not going to trust that. People trust brands for what they do. That's why. Imagine Steers goes and they're like, okay, we're doing coffee now.
Yeah.
And that's what breaks my brain about these, like the fuel stations, for instance, like a Total Cafe.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to start a Plato petrol station.
Yeah.
You know? But anyways, that's I'm like, you have to, like even, this is a stupid example, actually also a good example, sorry, but Mountain Falls. Yeah, so I think Mountain Falls is also a great example. Usually our franchisees, you know, they could sell whatever. Yeah. ISS, Valpro, it didn't matter to us. And then we said, listen, but let's do Mountain Falls. Yeah. And just the fact when we switched over to Mountain Falls, we were selling more water. Because why? Because people trust Mountain Falls for water. You're not going to do Plato water.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because we're not known for water.
For water,
so I think that is very important.
I think that's so important, especially when you're sticking to your niche.
100%.
When you're sticking to your niche. So we're looking at the scaling, and I mean, like you've reached a pinnacle in terms of, for every business to want to scale to 100 stores, that's massive. That's a tick box exercise. I mean, you can write a book on that right now. It's like, and to scale to 100 Platos in 6 years. And you're not done yet. I mean, you told me offline that, you know what, there's another 25 in the pipeline before I There's another 25 in the pipeline, and you're actually busy working on that right now. That's why you're getting sleepless nights. And you said that that's not all. You are actually done signing your very first London Plato. How does that feel?
Yeah, no.
That's like, listen here, for a South African business to go to an untapped market like London and decide, you know what, I actually see the opportunity. I mean, so many bars are closing down. So many people are actually, we see an opportunity to actually plug in here. How does that feel?
Yeah, no, that's massive. Nobody knows that. So
so it's going to be the first.
It's going to be the
exclusive, right here, exclusive.
But anyway, so we did sign by deposit, so it's definitely happening. It's in Bishopsgate, which is about that specific site is about 200 meters from Liverpool Station. Yeah. I mean, if just to give you an idea of the scale, Liverpool Station's, you know, it gets about 100 million feet a year. Yeah, through the station. So it's just on a whole next level. I'd say like our best shop in the country, coffee-wise, does about, let's say, probably 600 cups a day. Sure. The proper cafes in London does 1,200 cups a day. I mean, so it's double, and then you're paying £4 a cup.
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously people are like, okay, yes, but why now? And it's very high risk. For me, it's like our approach is going to be the same. Yeah. One store, small store. If it doesn't work, so what? Yeah. It's not the end of the world.
I got you.
We're not. So our approach is going to be the same. We're doing a joint venture with a local guy in London, also South African. He's been there for almost 20 years. He's our partner there. And if it works, we're going to have the same approach, just a bit of a staggered approach, do another corporate, corporate. And maybe we don't franchise in London, like
Maybe,
you do like
like South
Nando's
Africa,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's a very small town, with 12 million people in a like 15 kilometer radius.
Yes.
So there you could potentially set up a more corporate structure. But anyway, time will tell what the strategy is going to be.
But I like the fact that, and I think this is so amazing that entrepreneurial bug for wanting to expand, for wanting to grow has never died down. Even if you reach like your peak of 100 plateaus across South Africa. And I mean, like, we've seen businesses go to the UK, to London, and these businesses like Mug and Bean, for example. I don't know if you know the guys of Mug and Bean, when they started out and basically they grew to a couple of stores and eventually they weren't paying so much attention to the market itself. Like you actually sharing the demographics and who are the people that you're targeting. And I think they went exactly with the same concept from South Africa with the big buns and big stuff. And you know, people in London are like, you know what, we want small, petite stuff. And we want to get this because it's a grab and go. And you know exactly where to get those people.
That's very important. I mean, so with the guys from London, we said, okay, but this is South Africa's palate, you know? Are we going to have to adjust? And he said, yes, we're going to have to adjust it because a normal latte tastes like our flat white. So we're going to have to adjust the menu accordingly.
Yes.
That's small stuff like that, because now you get the guys coming to Plato for the first time, he orders a flat white and it tastes like a latte. It's going to be like, these guys they don't know what they're doing.
You know what they're doing.
So that's very important, that more granular stuff around, okay, where are you at actually?
Yes.
Are you in Secunda or are you in the city of London?
And understanding your market, exactly where you are, what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Before I show you the haircut, and I hope you like it. So there's a reason why you face this side. I think just to say thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you very much for availing yourself. I know that you could be somewhere else, opening whichever store, whichever location, but you took some time just to be on this podcast.
Thanks, man.
From my side, I really, really do appreciate it, and thank you very much for taking the time. Just in closing, I mean, for any kid or entrepreneur, the next Stephan out there that wants to be like you, that admires you, and says, you know what, one day I would like to be like Stephan. What is your advice for him?
You see, I think, I think it just talks back to the connecting dots thing, and it's like trust the process. I think what you said earlier also is like people want this. We're in a like an instant gratification era where you want your dopamine immediately and you want your success immediately. So I'd say keep your head down, create your own luck. So like persevere, and then at the end, you know, it's gonna work out. Just don't stop, because it's like that classic thing about the guy who delves for the diamonds, and then he's at the end and he's like, okay, now. So you never know like what's around the corner. And I really, I do believe it's like Gary Player always said, the more I practice, the luckier I get. So it's the same in life for me. So the more you put yourself out there, I mean, just go, trust the process, don't focus on this, like enjoy the journey, I'd say, and don't you come to entrench in this entrepreneur, celeb, you know, this glamour thing, you know. Yeah, that's what I say. Just go for it, make failure, and use your failure as building blocks.
The one thing I learned about you is that and such a massive takeaway is that be yourself. Because if you think about it, if you were going to replicate exactly what other franchises and other guys are doing, you would never scale and you'd never do what you're doing today if you weren't focused on being yourself.
Yeah, true.
And I think that it just needs a massive congratulations to you and to your brother as well for building such an incredible brand, but also for your leadership, for what you stand for, speaks volumes. in terms of putting people first and at the heart of your business.
Yeah.
It just means a lot. And yeah, thank you very much. Hope to see you again next year.
Yeah.
We talk about the 500 stores.
Yeah, that's it. No, thanks for having me, man.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
And thanks for the haircut.
Yeah.
I assume it's free. You're not going to charge me.
No, I'm not going to charge you, but you owe me a cup of coffee though.
Yeah, sure.